What is up, YouTube? This is your boy BNice coming to you again with another video. Today, this video is going to be on Tory Lanez, Love Me Now. Tory is having a hell of a 2018. Earlier in the year, he dropped Memories Don't Die, which is one of my top 5 albums of the year thus far. If you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out in my videos, and I'll probably link it below. But that album was one of my favorite albums of the year. He had a little bit of everything in there. He had like dancehall, R&B. He had some pop hits on there, and then, you know, his typical rap. I am probably a fanboy of Tory, and honestly, I can't deny the man got hits. So as you could tell, you already know that I was pretty stoked to hear that he was dropping another album this year. There was a bit of speculation of what type of album it was going to be. I know that he had mentioned that he was going to be doing like a Latino pop type of collab album with like a bunch of the Latin artists that are out right now, but I guess he's gonna hold that back for 2019. But this album, once I looked at the track list, I was like, oh yeah, this shit's gonna be a banger. And when I started noticing the promo run that he was having with it, I can definitely tell that he was going to be on the commercial trap side of things. The first song that I heard was Talk to Me, and that featured Rich the Kid, and it was a melodic track that I was like, okay, I can see where he's going with this. And then he dropped Kendall Jenner Music, and I was like, all right, I see where you're going. And then he dropped Drip with Meek Mill, and I was like, oh yeah, so the album is definitely going to be a commercial trap album, and I'm not mad at it. And then on Apple Music, once he completely dropped like the track list and who all was going to be there, I saw names like Gunna, Chris Brown, 2 Chainz, Lil Baby. I was like, yep, that is where he's going. And so I was like really excited for his album to drop. So boom, it drops. I listened to it. I'm already a fan. Off first listen, I was like, this is a feature heavy, it's a feature heavy project. And I wasn't mad at it because typically Tory Lanez likes to do everything on his own. He doesn't really like to get like big name features or I don't know if that's the case or not, but for the most part, most of his tracks have been like just him on it. And he doesn't really have that many big name features, but he features on a lot of other artists' work, and so we usually just leave it at that. But on this project, he tend to go a little bit outside the box, and he brought on a slew of talent, like I said, from Chris Brown, 2 Chainz, you name it, Trippie Redd, all those guys. So it definitely had the impact that I was hoping that it'd have, especially with it being commercial trap. And also, let me just add, the fact that all of these people are willing to work with him, that just shows me that he has a lot more respect from his peers than a lot of other artists, because like to have such an impressive feature list on his album is saying a lot about who he is as an artist and what people believe in him and who doesn't believe in him. And honestly, at this point, I don't think there's too many people that don't believe in him, unless you're Nicki Minaj and you're salty that you got taken off for Shooters. So like I said, the album pretty much from start to finish sounds like one big mesh of music. You can definitely tell that when there's a new song coming on, but for the most part, the sound is pretty much the same. It's all one big melodic, up-tempo, like trying to be catchy type of album. Commercial trap. I've said that like a million times already, but that is what it is. But it is a good project. For Tory to have like a commercial trap project, that is very atypical of what he typically does. Like I said, in his previous albums, like at least his mainstream albums, he's pretty much he's like captured the sound of reggae, the dance hall, the pop, the R&B, all of that. But this album is just one complete sound, and I like it. Each song individually has like their own type of vibe to it, but for the most part, every song on this album is pretty catchy, and honestly, there's not a song on it that I don't like. Another thing that I really, really loved about this album is the fact that this man did not put a skit on it. I kid you not, on I Told You, The album was 30 times longer than it needed to be because that man had a skit after every damn song. And I was like, Tory, bro, you gotta cut this shit out. Like, I wish there was a way that I could have just like cut all the skits out and just listened to every track run through. That was a big plus for me to see that this album and even the last album didn't have that many skits on it. And it's just all music. And I loved it. Keep it up, Tory. So the good, like I said, the album was 15 tracks. Out of the 15 tracks, there are 15 songs that I enjoyed. I don't know, man. I'm just a fanboy, but like I say, he didn't drop a track that wasn't well thought out and it wasn't good. I enjoyed it. They all sound the same, but the features do it justice. Now, picking a favorite from this album was kind of hard because there are... like I said, all the tracks are like good in their own way, but I guess some of my favorites was She Told Me, which was like the ultimate flex. I also liked Duck My Ex, which had Chris Brown and 2 Chainz on it. And then I liked The Runoff, which was a song that he also debuted on Ebro in the Morning. And that song sounded eerily similar to... it was either Magnolia or Rubbing Off the Paint, which actually Rubbing Off the Paint was made because of Magnolia, but that's what it sounded like. And I heard the bass line and the catchiness in that, and I was like, okay, pretty decent. And then probably the track that I like the most is probably the one that's the most or the least radio friendly, and that is Ferris Wheel, and that has Trippie Redd on it. I don't know, man. I listened to it and I was like, I could definitely see them banging this in the club. That was a very surprising track, and it was really good. It was really good, and it's just like super aggressive, and it's just like completely Trippie Redd, and I fucked with it. It was good. So you heard me talk about all the good, but what about the bad? Well, the bad is it was only one sound. Typical Tory would have like put his hand in like a lot of different things, and that is kind of what made Tory who he is. As I said in like a previous video, Tory is a hybrid. He's similar to Drake. He is probably the closest thing to Drake that we're gonna get, because he can sing and he can rap. He can do both, and that is the thing that we're missing, because Tory didn't really go off of the path of just the commercial trap route. I still fucked with it, but I just kind of wish that he would have like put a little bit more R&B into the album, and then like a little bit more of his signature, just like random grabs from all over the place. One thing that does save this project for me is the fact that he is planning to release Chicks Tape 5, which he has dubbed as the return of the true R&B, which I'm very excited to hear that, because that is the one thing that this album was definitely missing. And then as far as like that Latin album that he said that he was going to release this year, he said that he was going to release it a little bit later, meaning probably 2019, which I'm not mad at that either. So I mean, those are the only bad things about the album. As far as what I rate the album, man, I give the album, I really want to give it a 10 out of 10, but because it sounds so, the sound doesn't change on it, like I don't really want to give it like a perfect 10, because it's not a perfect album by any means. But my honest opinion on the album, I would definitely give it like an 8 out of 10 or like an 8.5 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it definitely gets the job done for me, because like I really, really enjoy the music. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe and comment in the comments below. Tell me what you think of the album, and then tell me what you think of the video. As far as this hat, let me know if you would love to get one. I'll put a link in the description on how you can get this hat. As always, thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.
Get this girl out. I got a whip up the pack, yeah. Chop it and chip up the sack. Call up my